All right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball Channel, the only star basketball channel bringing you a whole bunch of auctions while I'm sick. I got a bit under the weather. Obviously, getting this out pretty late on Sunday. I just couldn't get it going. I've been in bed all day, but I did want to get it out because there was so much action over this weekend for the auctions, and I am going to let Tony cover kind of. I'm going to touch on a few and touch on some heritage ones that I was interested in, but it looks like. We definitely had heritage and golden. The golden sales were probably the biggest as far as like the 101s is kind of the trend I'm seeing right now is, and just overall is that prices are holding solid. And in some cases, they're trickling up. They started to go up, and then we started having all the macroeconomic stuff with like tariffs and everything, and the market dropping, and that really I think put pause to a lot of people's buying, and it definitely seems to have been the catalyst to kind of stop things in their tracks. Things aren't dropping, however, so I'm seeing kind of the range stay put for like the 101s. The only ones that are still climbing very, very slowly are all the other Hall of Fame rookie cards, and Tony can talk to that slightly. Also seeing a few slight upticks here and there with like the 195 and the 288. Actually, the 288 is kind of holding over the CK26, but things are kind of like slowly inching back up, and we'll see. Obviously how things play out, and we watch prices here of all these cards, and that's what we do. But I do really want to quickly touch upon one thing I talked about last week. I talked about this card right here, and I know, so this actually was a big talk in some of the groups. This for I wanted to show one other piece that kind of talked about this being sheet cut, and that means that someone had an uncut sheet and actually just cut it, and this has all the hallmarks to it. It's perfectly centered. Again, the top needs to be a little bit bigger, but generally for a full sized, you don't have it this perfect. I mean, that's like perfect. This should be a little bit bigger up top than the bottom, and the sides are 50-50. I mean, this is just an absolute monster of a card. And last time I talked about it, I wasn't focused on the centering, or I was only focusing on the centering and not the overall condition of the card or the eight or what it deserves or anything. And I'm not going to. This is a unicorn kind of card. But someone was talking about I saw the print. You can see the print spray here, but really it's the chafing on the card, and you can see all the white kind of. This is kind of a hallmark for sheet cut cards, is that they'll have printing issues or some type of generally just printing issues, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. So this has that. The other thing about this, if you look at the serial number 7369, and you come over here, you can see it right here. And this was graded on Saturday, January 11th, 2014. In that, there's a 288 BGS 9. I've seen this, and I cannot find the picture. I know this doesn't help much, but on the exact same day, a BGS 9, and I've seen it, a 288, which with perfect centering side to side, which really isn't possible unless it's sheet cut. And I have seen this card, and it looks thin on the sides too, but it's 50-50, and you don't see that except for fakes, but it's real, and it was graded by Beckett. So this is even more indication. And then people in the groups also knew that the cards were owned by someone who was well known as someone who had sheets and cut those sheets for cards. So basically, it's kind of overwhelming evidence kind of pointing that direction. I did want to point out. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter to you, the card is real. It's just that the manufacturer, these were dispersed in bags. So the intent was not to disperse uncut sheets to be cut and turned into cards. But the card is real. So really, it comes down to you if that's what you want. If you want a perfectly centered real 101, this is a unicorn card. And, to me, it exists and it's real. It would be something I would shy away from, but that's just me. Again, all this is just my opinion and just thoughts I'm putting into it. But these are the facts, and this is what's being said and kind of passing along information. But as far as I know, some people are, that's why I think this is going to stay in a BGS holder. Again, BGS, actually, Beckett holders were my preferred holder. I'm not like a PSA fanboy, even though, but you have to know that PSA is the market determination for value. It is overwhelmingly PSA valuations are what's driving the market, and that's just the case for it. So I don't think you'll ever see this crossover because I don't know what grade it would get with the Surface, but these subs are non-replicable, and it's good to show them off. So that's just the information I have. But anyway, jumping to going back over here, let's look at what basically happened for the lots. I did a BGS 9. These don't come up very often. BGS 9 Court King sold for 11,000. Also, this BGS 9 that I was watching did sell for what, almost 104,000. And the thing about this though is the corners are not great. I don't think PSA would be kind to this. So this will stay in a BGS holder as well with its subs to be shown off. Obviously, you have insanely good centering here, but the corners are definitely these are, I think this would be probably a PSA 7 kind of thing, just due to the corners. But obviously a really nice looking card, and in a BGS 9, going for 104, you get to this valuation, subgrades matter so much, and those corners are going to be what brings it back down. This I saw bagged, this 10 card. These don't come up too often, but it looked really scratched up. The scans weren't very good, and I know most of this could have been on the scan, but it didn't present well as far as photos, as far as the 10 card set here. And I think that reflected in the price, going for 5,400. So that would be 540 a card kind of thing. And judging by the top card, it looks a little better than that. So as far as centering and whatnot, but this isn't really that beat up, but it does look like it could have some be a little beaten up. But again, I can't tell if it's the scan, but that was a little low. This was actually about what I expected. Looking in the corners, again, PSA is going to drive the valuations here. So people will look at it and say, hey, what does it cross over to? And then kind of take that into consideration. I really love this card. My two favorite looking cards are the CK26 and the 288. So this, I am now a believer. This is a fantastic card right here, but wanted to point those out. And then just two auctions that I can see. I'll let Tony more go over the auctions, but this PSA 4, I wanted to say, came up on eBay, and it's really nice looking. So check it out. Just the centering isn't great, but beyond that, for a PSA 4, the card is minty for a PSA 4. So check that out. There's only two auctions right now. That one and that you can bid on is that 4 and this PSA 6 on at Alt. That Alt is doing. And when you have this, remember, here's the trick to, if you get these, if you get the all white and you want to see if there's corner damage and stuff, you can click on that on the side. There's a little 2 bars right here. Someone showed me this, and you can click on it and then click this little sun thing, and it'll make the back darker so you can actually see corner wear better than it having an all white background. I don't like the all white, and people take pictures with paper on the back to kind of hide that. I don't like that. Be transparent about what you're trying to show, and trying to make it so people can't see it. It's not cool. So let's check out the card sales. So we did, I was watching this PSA 7, and it sold for the exact same amount, I think, as the last PSA 7, like exactly. So we are at 38 for, I think, for the last 4 straight PSA 7 sales. Those have hit like this sticking point, which to me, excuse me, a little bit better than it dropping for sure. I think these are just kind of stuck in this range, and we'll see, or kind of stuck right here for now. This 4 sold for about 16,000. And this BGS 8 for almost 33,000 was really strong because the subs were really high. So this was a very solid 8, and would probably translate over to a PSA 7. kind of take a peek at it really quick. And oh, I'll let actually I'm going to let even though I clicked on it, I'm going to let Tony show all these off, show all these golden auctions. And we had he'll talk about the 195 PSA 8 sale, because I also looked at some of the other ones just to get like a little trend. Again, I'll let Tony kind of go over these, but overall, from my perspective, things kind of staying at certain price points, kind of sticking, and they definitely kind of found support here at these prices. The one that I see might be kind of like trickling up, just because they vary, they can jump and fall, but are the CK26s, and it just depends on how many come up at a time and what grade you're looking at. But this looks these look pretty again. It just depends on where you're at. This PSA 7 sold for 11,000, and a good solid sale. And I think that, what is that, PSA 8 of the 195, if it's sold, it had a $40,000 sale, and Tony will talk to that one. But so I wanted to, is not feeling well as I am, I wanted to get something out and talk about all these auctions and everything, and kind of my 2 cents on what's happening. But definitely a lot of action last night, and we got Fanatics ending, and we got some more auctions that Tony will talk about on Tuesday. So, and I will see you at the next video.